Actually, I need to swallow my friggin' tea first. All right. Hello, guys, and welcome to HRL Season 6 Grand Finals. This is going to be the first race of the Grand Finals, Portugal RX. Let's do a little run through the track quick. So here's the finish stretch, kind of a small little finish stretch here. We got the gate over here, do a little downhill, and a lot of these sand berms on the outside on this track. So you see little inside line option, sand berm outside option, same goes for this turn. Then we go up here, back, down low, some pulls on those corners, a lot of sweeping downhill corners, some whoops on the inside here, sand berm to the outside, little jump at the end, makes this exit very tricky. This sand section very tricky as well. Going to see a lot of lines being chosen through there, and this little sweeping left-hander, small sweeping right-hander going into the HRL sign, a tricky rumble right there, little jump into the neg camber with another outside inside option, downhill into Linezga Kona, and then over here is where things get confusing. We'll go through the normal line first. So here's the normal line. Out of the NASCAR corner, have a little inside bump, little jump option, sand berm outside, and just a lot of options all throughout this sand section. Yeah, I mean, that's really all there is to say. A lot of options all throughout into, and this part just looks dope. Double chicanes exiting right there. Now this chicane is the one that drivers will be taking that take the normal route. Technically, if it's close, you can take this if you're not taking the Joker, but it's slower, so like you're just hurting yourself. But I mean, I guess if it's the safer way, you might as well. If you're in like a 2 wide, you might as well take the opposite line, I guess, unless it's for the win. I don't know. But let's go check out the Joker lane. Joker lane, NASCAR corner extends, goes off over here, a little swoop, small little jump, down below the rollover, a little fancy. Couple turns over here, little hairpin, going back into the chicane to round out the Joker. So there we go. There's the track layout for Portugal RX, based off of a real life rallycross, but there came a point where it was pretty much just having fun with it. It's like 50% based off the real life rallycross, 50% just having fun with it. Let's go through the starting lineup. Well, actually, let's go through the results of the heats. Detail and Luke took the heat 1 and 2 victory. Detail took the semi win. So there you go. Well, I guess it's grand finals. I could go a little in depth for the semi. So Luke took 2nd in the semi, Roman 3rd, Opix 4th, Vulcan 5th, and Slaunch 6th. So going through your starting gate, over here, Detail, Luke, Roman, and Opix. And then on our second gate here, I believe we have Vulcan, Slaunch, Hunter, and Phil. And in our back gate here, we have Real Deal and Camby. So Real Deal off to a rough start for this first moto. Just the start, though. Could get better. All right, so gate's about to drop. Ready for race number 1 in the Season 6 Grand Finals. A lot of drivers trying to jump the gate, and we're off to the green. And Luke and Slaunch by far just going to get the best starts out of any of the drivers. Different options coming out of everybody. We have a 3 wide going into the second corner, but at the exit of it, Luke's going to get the advantage. For second place, it's going to be a 2 wide between Slaunch and Opix. And now it's a close, what is that? Vulcan right there getting super loose. Saves it. And it is a really tight battle for all these positions here. Remember, only 10 drivers. It feels like more than 10, but only 10 drivers in these Grand Finals races. Real Deal already spins it off of that jump. Vulcan into the rocks. Real Deal getting into him. Already some hard contact going down in these races, as you would expect. Little option line here. Detail trying to go for the outside to try to make something happen. Gets a bit of a run. Here's Phil. He's trying to work around. Remember, Joker, as you can see, whoa! That was so close. I almost want to take another perspective of that because that was really close. Phil goes for the jump line, cheeses it, and Detail drove under him to get by him. That was... and Roman kind of goes over Hunter there. And there, as you'll see throughout this race, there's a lot of close calls in this track like that where people will just go on top of each other. It happens at various different sections for some reason, and just continues to happen. So there's a lot of close calls in this track throughout the race. Into the downhills, your top 4 riders at the conclusion of the first lap are Luke, Slaunch, Opix, and Detail, and then rounding out the top 5 is Phil. running out the top 5. And like I said, race official Armada was on the outside blocking, making sure nobody could take the Joker in the first lap. I think we might change this up for next season, but for this season, the rule is that you cannot take your Joker on the first or last lap. I'm thinking about a little switch up for next season. We'll see how it goes, but for now, that is the rule, and for this Grand Finals, it is the rule. So we have him on the outside, but he is gone now because obviously not the first lap anymore. So let's see if we have any takers. First 2 not going to take it. Next 2 not going to top 5. No, ooh, Real Deal with a good decision right there, I think, and I think Vulcan's going to follow him in, and these are the only 2. I believe Real Deal and Vulcan both going to take their Jokers. There you see him driving under the drivers, going over the rollover, and this is a smart decision, I think, out of both of these drivers if they both come out in front of Camby, and they do. Did Vulcan just drive across this way out of the Joker? What? Why? Anyways, going back to the front of the pack, and like I was saying, this is different. I forgot to really mention this in the pre-race. As we have a little top 5 battle here, I'll keep my eyes on this. This is different. Every other rallycross this season, the Joker has been a shortcut. We have a switch up here. The Joker is not a shortcut on this track. The Joker is actually the longer way around. So you're going to see different strategy employed out of these drivers, and I think in general, you're going to see more Joker strategy here in the Grand Finals rallycross because of the fact that it is the Grand Finals. I think a lot of these drivers are going to try to switch things up just to see what works, really. You already see that out of Real Deal and Vulcan. Usually we have a lot of drivers take the Joker early. I don't know why. Phil's going to take his right there. Oh, that was close contact there between Detail and Opix. I think that's a good choice out of Phil. He was getting close behind Detail and Opix, so he decides to take his Joker to possibly get himself some clean air. This might be a good decision here. Let's see how it goes. He's going to come out behind Real Deal, but just ahead of, side by side with Vulcan. If he comes out in front of Vulcan, this will be a really good Joker usage. See if he can complete the pass. Both drivers with rough runs in the first corner, but Phil will complete the pass. So I would argue that that was a good Joker usage right there out of Phil. Comes out right in front of Vulcan, right behind Real Deal. So not bad. He's actually in pretty good position. Front 2 battle is still Luke and Slaunch, and Opix and Detail still going at it for 3rd and 4th. So these battles are just raging on. Going under the HRL sign. Into the Ned Camber. Detail trying to make a swooping move right there. He's got some speed, but not quite able to make the move. And I'm going to keep my eyes out over here for some Joker usage. Detail on the inside. It's going to get close. Beating and banging, but Opix is able to get him to the corner, and Hunter opts to take his Joker. And I don't know if you guys saw that. Spins out on entry. You're going to see him going under 3 drivers, jumping the rollover. That's beautiful. Might make that roll line a little bit better for next season, because pretty much I don't think anybody's taking the roll line here, so might be a little adjustment for next season. We'll see. What do we got here? A lot of 2 wide battles so far. A lot of 2 wide battles, but Hunter takes his Joker. He comes out in last, and I mean I think it's pretty much safe to say Hunter's in last right here. So that's not a very good position for him at the start of the moto. It's not too bad though, because he has clean air. He's not in last. Sorry, Camby's in last. But it's not too bad of a situation. He has clean air, and he can just work that clean air, make gains, and maybe get somewhere from there. We'll see how it goes. This is close right here. Real Deal and Phil are actually battling for position, whereas Roman, who is in front of them, has not taken his Joker yet. So he's basically behind these guys, and they are all hungry trying to get by him so they can make some fat gains. I was going to call out a Real Deal second Joker usage, which would be like, what? But no, he just gets major lag cheese, gets cheesed by lag, and is going to lose his battling position with Phil, and is going to go behind Vulcan as well. So that is rough for Real Deal right there. Yeah, that's unfortunate. He has really not had a great start to this moto so far. And yeah, these two-way battles just continue here. Detail still working on Opix, and Slaunch and Luke still battling it out here through the sand. Oh, Detail might have just made the move there. He had a really good sand run, but Opix might have the advantage back. Detail really puts it into 4th gear there, and he makes the pass happen, so he's going to take the podium position there. But you also got to think all of these guys in the top 5 still have to take their Joker. Whereas a lot... Oh, we just saw Slaunch goes in for his Joker, and so does Opix. So this is going to be interesting. Where is Slaunch going to come out? It looks like he's going to come out in front of Detail here. Oh, it's going to be close, actually. Detail might beat him out. And Detail's going to beat him out, and that's huge for Detail, because now he's... I mean, look at the distance on Luke right there. Detail has a ton of clean air here. And if I'm him, I'm saving my Joker, take the clean air, and just try to make gains from this point on. So the interesting part, Opix takes his Joker. Where does he come back out into? Opix loses a lot on that Joker usage. He's losing a spot to Hunter right there, so that is unfortunate. He lost a lot out of that Joker right there. It's still pretty close throughout the pack, honestly. A lot of battles still going down. A lot of people still close, especially in this mid-pack right here. Remember, Roman is basically behind all these guys because he has to take his Joker still, so Roman needs to make some fat gains here if he wants to actually get ahead of these guys. Oh, and Real Deal gets stuck behind Phil in the jump. Phil's going to go down. I don't know what happened to Phil there, if he let off or something. Second gear, I don't know, but you should not be casing that jump. He does, and that's going to hurt Real Deal. That's going to hurt Phil the most. He goes way back from that, so that is unfortunate. Rough first moto from him. Luke takes the Joker. Where is he going to come out? He's going to come out in front of Slaunch, but behind Detail. So that works out for Detail really well. Is able to get in front of both 1 and 2 drivers here with their Joker usage, which works out because if he comes out behind him, he's basically screwed because he has to pass him, make up a ton of time, and then take his Joker and stay ahead. But the fact that he comes out in front of him is huge because he's actually going to get some clean air here to possibly make some gains and maybe make something happen off of the Joker usage. So we'll see how that goes. We'll keep updated with that. These guys are all still really close, though. These 4 drivers right here, Real Deal, Vulcan on his tail, Hunter, and Opix, all those guys still very close. Top 3 battle continuing to rage on as well. And I believe we're coming close to the end of this race here. I made a classic Luch mistake and did not check the time, but I have a pretty good feel for when it is. So I'm not sure how many laps there are exactly left. If I had to guess, I'd probably say about like 4, maybe 5 max. But I know for a fact we're getting close to the end of the race here, and there's not that much time left. So Detail's going to be running out of time here on taking his Joker. But as you can see, look at that gap. He has stretched that gap a ton. So if he can run consistent, clean laps here, he could have a chance of... I don't know if he could take the lead, but he'd have to make fat gains for that, but maybe come out in second. It'd have to take a lot. Maybe podium position as well. And remember, Roman here as well, I believe he still hasn't taken his Joker too. He's finally starting to stretch this gap on Real Deal a little bit. Real Deal's gaining it back fast. Vulcan is honestly pretty good here too. But yeah, Roman not really stretching the gap as much as he needs to. And I'm expecting he'll probably take his Joker this lap. Let's see what he does. Let's see if Detail takes his. Nope, gonna stay out. Roman is gonna take his Joker. It almost looked like he tried to fake it or something. I don't really get the point of that. But he's just gonna take the Joker here. Watch that awesome angle of those drivers not taking it, going over the Joker driver. And this is gonna be close. Is he gonna come out in front of Hunter and Phil? Oh, Hunter and Phil in a close battle here. And Roman's gonna come out in front of him. So that's big for Roman, the fact that he actually came out in front of those two. Because I think we all kind of expected him to lose that, those spots to Real Deal and Vulcan. And while we were watching that, Detail must have made a mistake. He is now in second. He must have made a really big mistake. Has now fallen back to second, and that screws over his strategy. Because before we were looking at a position where it was like, honestly, he probably could have taken a Joker and come out in third at least, probably second, maybe even first. He was making really big gains. But now it's kind of screwed him over. He's kind of forced his hand to where he has to take the Joker this lap and where he's going to lose some positions off it. So the mistake that we missed there was definitely a crucial one. Gonna take the Joker there. Kind of a rough run. See where he comes out. Real Deal's made a lot of the time back too. Real Deal's actually right there with Slaunch. And Vulcan too makes a little mistake. And Detail is going to come out behind Real Deal and Vulcan, so still a lot of gains there to be made in 5th at the moment. Luke's really stretched the lead, and Slaunch has stretched that 2nd place, but Real Deal is surprisingly in 3rd place right here. I'd say a good recovery race out of him so far. The mistake's crucial for Detail, though. If you look at that gap, I think he definitely would have came out in 3rd if that mistake weren't made, at least. Oh, Sancho the crucial mistake going into the sand section. Can Real Deal take the position? He does. Can Vulcan take it? Not. Maybe, if he battles back. I think Vulcan has the advantage here. It's all about what he does with it. Side by side. Not hard enough into the corner there. Still side by side going into the sand section. Joker lane is closed. I believe that means we are on the last lap here, or we're coming to the last lap. I think it just means that everybody's used their Joker. I think Ramda just went in front because everybody's used it. Vulcan goes down off the back of Slunch, and that is huge for Detail. He's going to pick up an extra spot there. Going into the white flag final lap, and I know it's definitely the final lap here because you can see Luke in front running the berms, which he hasn't ran all race, so I think it's pretty safe to say that going for a safe line, this must be the last lap. Everybody's taking their Joker. It's all going to be about where people cross the line, and honestly, second, third, and fourth, all up for grabs still. These guys are all close to the very end. None of these guys electing to take the whoops. All about who's going to get the best entry into the sand. Detail has a pretty good sand run. Closing in on Slaunch. Real Deal stretching that gap as well. And Slaunch got to be careful here. If Detail takes this podium, this is going to be huge. Going into the Ned Camber. Detail with a nice swooping entry. That was a really nice run right there. And this is where it's going to happen. If it's going to happen, he's going to go for it. Oh, very close. Almost able to pull it off right there. Almost able to pull it off. Tried his best. Going to get the little case there. Saves it though. Luke's going to take the win. Real Deal second. Slaunch third. Detail fourth. And Vulcan with the 5th place. Roman 6th. Phil 7th. Hunter and Opix apparently a good battle at the end. 8th and 9th. And I think Cammy way back there. We just saw him in the background. Going to come across the line in 10th there. Cheese. Well, oh, was I not recording? I was. Let's go. No, I wasn't. Bob Saget. Ugh, idiot. That's fine. Anyways, first race results. Luke, Real Deal, Slaunch, Detail, Vulcan, Roman, Phil, Hunter, and Opix. Interesting results for that race. Pretty unpredictable all throughout. So let's get the second moto lined up. Let me skip the several fail starts.